So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my Garden Warfare 2 ability tier list. So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Garden Warfare 2 video here today on my channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at my own Garden Warfare 2 ability tier list. This is my opinion, these are my thoughts, so yours will probably be different. It doesn't mean you're right, it doesn't mean I'm right, it doesn't mean either of us are right or wrong. These are just our opinions on what we've experienced from playing the game. So if you do have any suggestions or any comments on my ability tier list, let me know in the comments down below. So we do have a ton of abilities that we do need to take a look at, so we will get straight into the video. I do also just want to say that I will be giving reasonings to why certain abilities are in certain tiers, but also if you take a look on screen, there are a lot of abilities. Like, trying to memorize all of these abilities off the top of my head from an icon is probably going to be a little bit difficult, so I may mix some abilities up. And I know this isn't every single ability in the game. I know that a lot of the mech abilities aren't included here. For some reason, we have the Z7 abilities, but we don't really have any abilities for anything else. Also, the abilities are not in categorized order in the specific tiers. So if you see all of the abilities in the amazing category, that doesn't mean that's in order. It just means that all of those abilities are amazing. So SS is the annoying category, and we start off with Huskop, EMPeach, Time Snare, Hyper, Goop, Gravity Grenade, and the Burrow. Now, I think you can probably agree a lot of these are pretty annoying. Huskop, a core just presses it right in front of you and you're pretty much dead. EMPeach is probably one of the most annoying abilities in the game because not only does it stun you, it also deals damage to you, and while you're stunned, you're most likely going to be taken out. So it is a very annoying ability. Hyper with the bunny hopping pea shooters, that's a given. Goop is annoying just because chompers using Goop is their primary way of getting kills. Like, if the Goop wasn't on a chomper, they probably wouldn't get nowhere near as many kills. I personally feel like it's more of a pain than Burrow. Gravity Grenade can be a pain, especially with objective-based game modes. If you're playing like Gnome Bomb or something, and you've got the Gnome, and you're trying to get it to the objective, Gravity Grenade's like, nope. But also, it's just annoying anyway. And then Burrow is still up here as well, because Burrow is so annoying, especially when you get mid-air burrowed. That's really, really annoying. Moving over to Amazing. These are probably like the best abilities in the game. Some of these actually don't really use too much, but I think they're very powerful, and that's why I think they deserve to be in the Amazing category. So we start off with a P-Gatling. That absolutely destroys any single zombie thing living, like a mech, doesn't matter what it is. It absolutely wrecks. The only thing that's pretty good at countering you is like a ZPG. That's about it. We also have Ultra Tackle. It does a lot of damage. It can take out a lot of plants almost instantly. I mean, if it's a sunflower, you don't need to hit them like once or twice, and then an Ultra Tackle will take them out. Impunt is also very good. Impunt does like 150 damage and has a pretty large explosion radius, so that is up there. Sticky Goop is also an amazing. I didn't put that in annoying because I feel like more people use normal Goop rather than Sticky Goop, so that's the reason why I put Sticky Goop in annoying, but regardless, Goops are pretty annoying. I've also thrown Vampweed into this as well because, let's be honest, any ability for chompers are annoying. And a Vampweed not only snares the zombie, but it also heals the chomper, so it's just a little bit more annoying. Then we've also got the Dark Flower. So this is one that I don't really use too much. However, it is very powerful, and it can be very, very accurate. So it can be a little bit of a pain. Probably one of the surprising ones in the Amazing tier, but I did put this here because I think it's pretty annoying. I don't really use it too much, but it definitely can be very, very powerful. We've also got Blazing Blast, very powerful. Of the torch, we can get close. I put the Warp in Amazing as well because I think 90% of the time, a scientist needs to utilize his warps very well to be able to get a lot of kills. So Warp is a very crucial part of a scientist, and scientists are very, very powerful. ZPG can take out a lot of things. P-Gatlings, it counters them. Sunflowers, it counters them. It can counter so many things, man. And I've also put the Twilight Warp in here because recently, since the Twilight Jumper came out, Twilight Warp, very, very powerful, and in my opinion, is a pretty amazing ability. Now, moving over to the great abilities. Not going to cover all of these in detail, but we have the Sombrero Beam Bomb and the Chili Beam Bomb, great for objective-based game modes. Sprint Tackle's up there as well because All-Stars are pretty good anyway. Moving over to a few Citron abilities, we have the Citron Ball Form itself. I think that is a great ability and is one of the main reasons Citron is such a great character. He can go into Ball Form and move around a lot quicker, and he's just much more of a pain to hit when he's in ball form. We've also put the Mood Shield in there as well because it takes a lot of damage, and it can help save a Citron in a 1v1 situation. I've put a lot of the healing utilities into the great class as well. I'm a huge fan of Scientists. I'm also a huge fan of the Sunflowers, so I really like playing as those classes, and I feel like healing is a main priority if you are playing one of those classes. It's great to heal yourself and also great to heal your teammates. So I put the Mega Heal Ball in there. I put both the Sunflowers Heal Flowers because they heal at a similar rate. The heal stations in there. And also all 3 heal beams, the Scientist heal beam and the 2 Sunflowers heal beams. I feel like they're all great abilities to use. I think they definitely help keep you alive, your team alive, and can therefore win you games. So I think healing is a crucial part of the game and should be in this great category. I've also thrown the Midnight Drone, I believe it's called, into this list as well. I think that the Midnight Drone is the Cactus's best drone. It does a lot of damage, it's got splash damage, you don't need to be as accurate, and if there's a lot of zombies clustered together, it can get a lot of kills. We also have the Big Bolt Blaster and the Bezazzled Big Bolt Blaster. I believe they're pretty much the same ability, but one's bling, one's not. They're very, very powerful. I wouldn't put it on par with the P-Gatling. It's very similar, but I feel like with the Engineer being a bigger hitbox, it's easier to take out. However, I do think it's a really good ability. I get a lot of kills with it. And I've also put a few mechs in here as well. I've put the Scallywag's mech in here and the Z7's mech, and also put the 2 Z-mechs abilities in here as well. The massive explosion thing that the Scallywag mech has, it's like one of those sea mines. I don't actually know what it's called, but I've thrown that in this tier as well. And also the slash that the Z7 mech has as well, because both of those kind of work well. The mine kind of works like a chili bean bomb, and then the slash can just do like 70 damage to all plants in a cluster. So it's great abilities. I think they deserve to be in the great category, and that's why they're here. Moving over to the okay abilities, we have quite a lot. So these are abilities that aren't amazing, I guess you could say. They're not useless, but they're also not amazing. There's probably going to be a lot of controversy with a lot of these abilities. We'll get into that in just a second, but we start off with the Dark Beam Bomb. I feel like the Dark Beam Bomb, it's okay, but you need to get it exploding right next to the zombie to deal that damage. Most of the time, it does 1 damage. I was considering putting it in meh, but I thought if there is a zombie next to you, it's going to do a lot of damage, and it explodes pretty quickly. I've also put the Johnnies and the Tornut in this class as well. I feel like they're okay, but as far as the Cactus goes, most of the time, it's only used to prevent you to block things, and I feel like both of them can block the same scenarios most of the time. You know, the Tornut's a little bit wider, so he's easier at blocking like bling barrels and things like that, but at the same time, the Iron Johnny is a little bit taller, so might give you a better chance of stopping ZPGs. Personally, I think they're not amazing. They have their uses, but it's only situational. I've thrown the Zombie Stink Clouds in here as well. Great objective-wise, and it can force plants off an objective, but as far as damage goes, not really too great. I've also put a lot of the Super Brains abilities here, because, let's be honest, most of the time, Super Brains relies on his punches to get kills. So, his Heroic Kick, his Multi-Ball, his Ultra Ball, and his Guided Ball, they don't really do that well, I don't think. I don't know if that's just me, but I don't think they do that well, so that's the reason why they're in okay. I've also put the Spiky Spikeweed down here as well. I've put it on a tier lower than great for the reason that most of the time when you get your kills with a Spikeweed, it's not because you've dealt damage with the Spikeweed, it's because a Chomper has snared you and then swallowed you. Let's be honest, that's what happens 90% of the time, which is why Vampweed was up at the top, because that can heal. Spikeweed isn't great because it does damage, but damage doesn't really much of a factor in this mode. You literally just snare them. And the reason why Spikeweed is 1 tier lower is because it takes a bit longer to cool down. That's the reason why. Damage isn't really much of a factor with these abilities. It's just snare them, swallow them, move on. As far as momentum goes and things like that, I've also put the Jackhammers in here as well. Engineers rely on the Jackhammers, but I'm not really an Engineer fan too much, so I threw those in okay. Shookshot is a great ability if it would have been on par with the ZPG, but unfortunately it splits, making it less accurate, especially at long range, meaning that it's not great, it's not amazing, it's only okay. And then I've thrown a lot of the mechs in here as well. Mechs are okay, but they're easy to take out, so that's the only reason why I put those in this category, and probably people would argue to go higher, because mechs can be a pain, but if everybody targets a mech at the same time, it's down and then it's gone for another minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I don't find mechs to be too much of an issue, and they're okay, but I don't think they're amazing. And we also have Imp Carter in this tier as well. Imp Carter is pretty terrible, but used in the right situation, it can be quite good. You know, you could do a lot of damage to quite a few plants, or you could have your team do a lot of damage to quite a few plants, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go see if I can get a triple kill here. And you use your Imp Carter, and you may do a bit of damage to them and take them out. You may not, and you may die. It's situational, And can you get your kills? Might not get your kills. I actually got 7 kills once with an Imp because we was playing Super Mix mode and everyone had 1 health and I killed everybody and it was hilarious and it was a lot of fun. But apart from that, Imp can be okay, but it's situational. Moving over to the meh abilities, these are ones that I think are terrible. And a lot of you are probably going to agree on most of these anyway. We have the multi-rockets. Never see anybody use that. It's useless. We have the long bomb. That had so much potential, man. In Garden Warfare 1, the long bomb was amazing. It's useless in this game. The arm and heal stations are terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. I don't know why they're in the game. I'm surprised they actually heal you at all. I'm surprised they don't take health away from you. They're that useless. We've also got the multi-shock, because the multi-shock is also just as bad. Super P-jump, never really see anyone use that. Don't see any reason to use that, considering hyper can get you pretty much anywhere at the same time as Super P-jump, but gives you extra speed. Turbo Twister, pretty useless now as well. We also have Energy Warp. Not a huge fan of this. It's useless in situations as well, but not a huge fan of Energy Warp. Potato Nugget Mines are also ones that, if someone stands on a potato mine, you want them to actually kill them. You don't want to just do a little bit of damage. No, you don't want to do a little bit of damage. You want to actually kill them. So I don't really find those too useful. We've also got the All-Star shield decoys that they have. They're just too weak, man. They don't really do anything. Even though you can put those down, they're just too weak. And then we have those engineer sonic mines that you can put down that you don't throw them on the ground, you just place them on the ground. And they're pretty useless because, I mean, if you're going to place it down on the ground, it takes like a second or so to activate. And most of the time, you'll place it down on the ground and walk away. So when the plant's stunned, they're not going to get killed. They're just going to get stunned for a second or so. And then we also have the rocket jump, which I don't really think is that good in this game either. I feel like Rocket Leap is a lot better, which I did put into... Where did I put Rocket Leap? I put Rocket Leap in Great. So I put Rocket Leap in Great and Rocket Jump in Meh. Because Rocket Leap, you get 2 of them. You can lunge forward. You can jump on pretty much everything. Rocket Jump, not really that useful in the game. It's kind of like P-Jump and Hyper. And then we have 3 more abilities to take a look at. We have Not Sure, which are 2 of the artichoke drones. I don't really use these, so I don't actually know what's good and bad about them. So that's the reason why I put them in Not Sure. And then we have the Torchwood Hulk Smash. It isn't in the game, so I can't judge exactly how good or bad it would be. So that is why it's not in the game. And there we go. Hopefully you did enjoy this ability tier list. I don't know how rambly it was. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But hopefully some of you agree with this list nonetheless. And I know there's going to be some disagreements and some questions. So if you do have anything, let me know in the comments down below. And I would love to take a look at your feedback of what you think about my ability tier list. But nonetheless, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Zero, and I will catch you all in another video.